part of my success is from being naive, ironically, and being willing to experiment and try things until I found something that worked. The nuanced thing though is that the key is to be willing to look at problems with a fresh pair of eyes.
Sure.
And have the context to know how to think about solving them. And sometimes that requires an out of the box type mentality. And I think that, it's something that maybe you naturally have. And I think that it's something that a lot of people are going to struggle with. One thing I worry about is that, a lot of the best practices that used to be true have shifted some. And I think that people need to be a lot more curious and be willing to experiment a lot more in the future if they want to be successful. And just like following, older playbooks may not be the path to success going forward.
And I think, the more you can cultivate that, literally either one by hiring new people and listening to them, or by practicing it as a practice. I think the better your business is going to be. And I think more and more that's going to be, like you said, more important because of how quickly the landscape is shifting.
Yeah, I mean, I think like one of the things that I was, in retrospect, very fortunate for is like before I got into the air filter industry, I had zero air filter industry experience.
Okay.
And so, I had never been in a manufacturing plant before I basically started my manufacturing plant for air filters. And I think if I had been, that I would have been biased to try to replicate what other people had done or build a similar business model to what other people had done. And I think that if I had tried that, I would have failed. But part of my success is from being naive, ironically, and being willing to experiment and try things until I found something that worked.
It's so funny. I say the same thing all the time because I like to say, I think I run Lifesaver differently because I've never had a job before. Like I literally never worked anywhere before Lifesaver, right? So I don't know what you're supposed to do or, how employees are supposed to be treated or, because I hear all the time people say like, oh, nobody does that. Like nobody, buys all their people lunch every day or nobody provides these benefits or nobody gives unlimited vacation, which I think is becoming more common now. Or, all this is the random stuff that we do that apparently is uncommon, but just makes sense to me. But I don't know any better because I've never had a job, right? So, it feels just like the right thing to do, and it seems to have worked out so far.